I've come to Loweswater after the storm to see what images I can get. Why not come with me? You can hear me above the roar of the water. Well, good afternoon. And you found me out in the Lake District again. I haven't come that far. It's probably, I don't know, a quarter of an hour to half an hour's drive. And I've parked up and I'm on the way walking to Loweswater, which is one of the lakes in the, so I suppose you'd call it the north-western part of the Lake District. But yeah, overnight we've had quite a bit of rain and it's windy, so a bit of a storm blowing over. But the forecast for this afternoon was for it to stop raining and possibly sunny intervals. Well, just looking at the moment, it's still pretty windy. Whoa, we won't be getting the drone up today, and there goes my hat. To go and capture it. And yeah, I don't know about sunny intervals, but there's quite a lot of definition in the sky with clouds, etc. So we'll see what we can do with that. And yeah, it's certainly bright. So the idea is we're going to walk to the lake and then walk along the foreshore, see if we can find anything along there, and then a bit further on we're possibly just going to go up into the woods because there's a waterfall. Whether it's any good at the moment, because we obviously had quite a bit of rain last night, so that might boost it, but prior to that we haven't had a huge amount of rain, so but we'll see. So that's the plan for today, just something a bit different. Loweswater after the storm. So, yep, we'll catch up with you a bit later. Right, well, we've just come past Watergate Farm, and I'm just looking back to it there, and we're right on the foreshore of the lake here. And what I have came across was this I suppose it's a rowing boat, the dark green one, and then the lighter coloured one is some sort of type canoe kayak type of thing, and I just thought it made quite an interesting scene. So I came over here, and there we're looking, we've got the wall as a sort of leading line. You can see the wall here. We've got the two little boats, and then we've got the two mountains across the way. I can't remember what they're called. If they're anything significant, I'll put them up on the video. So yeah, I've just taken a handheld image of the scene here. I just thought it was quite pleasant, something a bit different. And then we're going to carry on and we'll go into, if I turn around, you'll see there, into Home Wood, and we're going to go carry along the foreshore of the wood. I think there's a bothy or something further along, and we'll go along and then hopefully up to Home Force. One thing I did video, and I forgot to mention it in my introduction, was, and I will have highlighted it, there was an old branch or whatever that had fallen off, and somebody pointed out that it looked very much like an eagle owl. So I did video it. I'll have highlighted it. So I don't know what you think of that. The other thing they pointed out, which I don't know whether we'll manage to see or not, that yeah, Homewood, the wood up there, from a distance, and obviously we're talking distance of a mile or more away, it does look a bit like a pheasant, apparently. So we'll see, maybe as I head back home we can have a look about that, and if there's anything I could sort of insert it into the video here. I don't know whether we'll manage anything or not, but yeah, so I'll put that image up and then we're going to head into Homewood. So we'll see you a little bit later. Right, well we've come round to the bothy. I said I thought there was a bothy here, and as you can see it's there. If we come up to the doors, it says it's Homewood Bothy, and then there's National Trust website holidays. So obviously it's one you can rent out. It's not particularly big. I mean, I don't know what it's like inside. Obviously you can't see. It's not like some of the bothies, like one scale bothy that I've been to a number of times, and you might have seen on some of my videos, where that is just open for anybody to go in and sleep there. That's a bit confined, and last time I was there wasn't particularly. It smelled quite a bit, so yeah, just looking there though, there's some pots and pans that have been washed up, so there's maybe somebody staying there at the moment. And as we come round here, it has got quite a good aspect. You're looking straight down Loweswater too, and then the big one in cloud at the moment, that's Grassmoor, and there's a bit of a bench there and a swing. So yeah, it's quite pleasant. To be a nice place to come and stay. It's obviously, I would imagine it's off grid, so yeah, but I don't think particularly there's any images here that that grab me. I think I seem to remember there's a bench a bit further round, so yeah, we'll carry on round the lake and we'll catch up with you shortly. Right, you'll see we've now come to the bench, and it's quite good because, what I'm going to do is I'll record it through the stills camera. So that's now recording. So yeah, we've got the bench here. There's a bit of foreground interest. We've got the lake, and then we've got, which isn't quite misty at the moment, that's Grassmoor, which is one of the bigger fells in this area of the Lake District. So yeah, it's quite good. I mean, I have taken two. I've already taken the image. I have taken two images. One which is just very much a standard image like this, but I did put a 10-stop ND filter on, and I've taken two images of two minutes, just to try and get some definition in the sky, the clouds sweeping across, because they are moving relatively quickly. I'm not convinced that's actually worked, but yeah, no, it is quite a nice spot. I mean, it keeps starting to try and rain again, which it's doing at the moment, so yeah, it's not brilliant, but yeah, we'll stop that recording there. That's the camera off. Yeah, it's I have been here before. I will put a link to a previous video that I've done, but yeah, I just love this spot, and just trying to show that after the storm's abated, there's still some good images to be had, although it feels as though the storm's coming back at the moment. But yeah, we've got those images there. We'll maybe put both up so you can see the difference, and then we're going to carry on round the lake and then up towards the waterfall. So yeah, we'll put the images up and we'll see you a little bit later. Right, well, I haven't really come much further. If it wasn't for the trees, I could probably see the bench where we were, which is just over there. And I was just coming along and think, I need to look around. There must be something else. And I just looked, and there's this tree here. Now, this is, as trees go, I think that's pretty impressive. I have no idea what sort of tree it is, but you've got the well, what I'll do is we'll put the stills camera on, and then we can talk about it. So I'll bring that up on the screen. So yeah, we've got the tree here with the three splitting into three branches, and then we've got this other little one just behind it that sort of intertwines with the tree, and I just think it was quite good. It's quite a close crop, and I'm probably going to reduce it even further, take a bit off the top and a bit off the bottom to make it a 5 before rather than the 6 before. I wasn't quite sure what the best aperture is, because obviously I want the tree and the little one behind it in focus, but I would prefer everything else to be slightly soft. So I've done, in a sense, from f2.8 up to f8 in one stop increments, taking the thing. And I'm just wondering whether I've got the best angle here. I might just try moving the camera around it a little bit and taking them again. I'm just seeing where the camera is. Where are we? The way these two intertwine isn't as, I think if we came round it would just stand out a little bit more. So we'll maybe try adjusting it, and whichever is best we'll put up on the video. Normally I'm not into forestry or tree pictures, but this one I just thought, need to look around, and just looked, and there was that. It's quite exquisite, and hopefully you'll enjoy the image, which we'll put up now, and we'll see you a little bit later. Right, as you'll see, we've made it to Home Force. I think that's what it's called in Homewood. And we're at the sort of middle-ish of the falls. But I did try going up further up there, and I just couldn't find A composition that I was happy with, and B, somewhere that I felt relatively safe to stop and sort out with the camera. Although I did take, which you're probably seeing at the moment, a slow motion view of coming down there. So we've come down to these middle-ish falls, and it's still quite difficult. If I just come up here, you'll be able to see down there, the camera's down there. If we zoom in, you see all the legs are at different lengths. It's very awkward. The rocks, we come back here, the rocks there are very slippy. So I'm sort of stood next to the tripod, can't really get behind it because of the rocks. But I think I've got quite a good image. So yeah, so if we come back up and we recenter this, there we go, and we'll zoom back out. Yeah, it's quite impressive. Obviously it depends on the amount of water, and there's a reasonable amount of water coming. I have taken different shutter speeds, haven't used ND filters, because even f11 with a polarizer on, we were getting to 0.4 of a second, so, and I think that was slow enough. I have upped the ISO to give a slightly quicker speed. So what now we're going to do is we're going to go back down to the sort of forest road, where there's the sort of bottom falls that you'll have seen on the B-roll as I arrived here, and we'll see what we can get of those. So yeah, while I'm doing that, I'll put the image of this one up, and we'll see you at the bottom. Right, we'll now come down to the bottom falls, and we've actually come to the other side, the other bank of the Beck stream, whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called. And you can see, if we just wander down, we've got the camera down there. Again, there's not huge empty spaces of flat ground just to set up your camera, etc. It's all a bit awkward, but if we come down here, actually once we get down to the camera, there's a little bit of a seat. So you can see there's the camera there, there's the waterfall there. I'm just going to put on, I'll just turn on the camera just with the live view. Oh, come on. There we go. And you can see, I don't know whether you can see, there's the two stripes there and there, because I've actually said I want it to be a square crop. And I quite like this with waterfalls, with a square crop and the waterfall almost coming diagonally across the frame. So hopefully, I mean, it might need a little bit of tightening in post, but I mean, that's the basic thing. So yeah, it's quite a nice waterfall. This, when I came last time, and as I say, I will put up a link to the video of when I came, I went further round rather than staying in the wood. I went beyond and then up onto the top of the hills are up there, and there's a bench, which the views from that are brilliant, and that of Loweswater and Quarter. If I can find an image, I'll maybe quickly just put an image up from when I was there. But yeah, that's brilliant. And then I came back down into the wood at the top there, and you could see the stream coming in, but then worked my way down. There isn't a way down there. I can't remember which way I came. I maybe came down further on and had to come back. But yeah, no, it's well worth photographing this. So yeah, I mean, whichever's best. Again, I've done it at various shutter speeds. I may put a couple up just because I know people like the different effects and that. So yeah, well, whatever's best, we'll put that up, and then I think it's time for heading back to the van. Right, we've just come back past Watergate Farm, and we're on the farm track back to the small car park where I parked. So we'll come back down through the wood, which you'll have seen from the B-roll. And yeah, it's been a brilliant afternoon. I don't know why I struggle so much to motivate myself to come out, because when I do come out, I thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, today is just being out in the open is just good for me. It just, I don't know, it just does something. It's enjoyable. But yeah. Anyway, but yeah, why has it been a good afternoon? Well, the forecast was reasonably right. I mean, it said heavy rain overnight and in the morning, and then come the afternoon, the storm would have passed, and little to no rain, and possible sunny intervals. Well, it was more or less right. When I left home, it had stopped raining. By the time I got here, it was, it still wasn't raining. As I went round the foreshore, and a couple of times there was a few spots of rain, particularly at the little bench there where you can sit and look down the lake to Grassmoor. And yeah, but then, and I wasn't quite sure about the sunny intervals, but now I can see blue sky in places. So yeah, the forecast was right, and I feel as though I've got sort of 4 different types of images, which sometimes I go out and think, oh, all the images are very much the same, but this time we've got relatively different. The first one being those boats looking out over the lake, and that. The second was, and that first one was a handheld one, and then the second being at the bench, and particularly the long exposures. Sets a very different tone to the first one. And then the tree. I mean, I don't often capture the images of trees, but it just stood out. It was quite unusual, I thought. And then up and waterfall pictures. So yeah, 4 different types of images, which is very good. And yeah, just to remind people, if you've enjoyed the video and you haven't already done so, please click the thumbs up. It is much appreciated and does great things for the channel, with the algorithm, etc. And if you like what I'm doing and you regularly watch and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything at all, it's free. And the other thing I would say is, you talk about clicking the notification bell, by all means do that. But you don't have to click that. And so you won't necessarily get notified, but you will if you go into the subscription stream on YouTube, you'll find my videos. For now, at least 3 years, they've always gone up, more or less. I think there's been the odd hiccup where it's been delayed, but basically 5 o'clock UK time on a Sunday, so that's when they go up. So yeah, and most of all, if there's anything, questions or anything you'd like to say, oh that was great, or I don't think you should have done that, or I didn't like that, please comment. All comments are greatly appreciated, and all comments are responded to, whether that's an answer to a question or just a thank you for taking the time to comment. So yeah, so what's next? Well, I don't know. We're now Thursday, and I was possibly thinking for Saturday, we'll have to see. The forecast is for mist and fog in the morning, and I was thinking I might get up early and go down to the lake for sunrise, particularly if it's misty and foggy. You might get some quite nice images. So that's a thought, or something else will come to mind. But yeah, but it's nice to get out, and it's just been a brilliant afternoon, good for my soul. In a sense, it's my happy place, and why I struggle sometimes to get organised to get out, I don't know. So anyway, well, thank you there, we'll leave you there, and we'll see you on the next video.